Hi, I'm Angelo Ziaziaris and welcome to the How to Live by Design in 90 Days Challenge. Well, we're up to week 6 and I did promise this week that we'd jump a week ahead, but something happened during the week that reminded me exactly why the 7-step system for success is designed in the order that it's in. And so this week we're going to cover step 6, Moments of Truth. So what happened during the week that made me change my mind and make me want to deliver this content to you a week ahead of time? Well, I ran the City to Surf on Sunday. And for those of you that are following my marathon diary on my website blog, you'll know that I had set myself 2 really serious targets to achieve in the City to Surf. The first was to break an 18-year personal best time of 67 minutes, set when I was a young and fit teenager. And the second, to make certain that I was going to achieve at least that goal, was to set myself a stretch target of 65 minutes. Because with my marathon training, I'm really training for endurance, not speed. And so 65 minutes seemed a realistic target to achieve for this 14-kilometer race, given where I am right now with my training schedule. And so what's this got to do with the moments of truth? I'll get to that in a moment. Because it was on Saturday, I was at my friend's place, my mate Simo. He's my training and running partner on Big Wednesdays. Now, Simo is a fantastic friend of mine, and he was asking me, "So Ange, what time are you aiming for?" And I told him I'd love to break 65 minutes. And so he asked me, "So how are you going to go about it? What's your strategy?" And I didn't really think about a strategy or having one. I've pretty much always just run the race and hope for the best, if you like. This year I'm feeling pretty good, so I figured 65 seemed realistic. But then he told me that he'd read somewhere that people actually went into a race like this one, and for each kilometer wrote on their arm what time they needed to be at for that particular kilometer, for every kilometer in the race. And he said that it made it so much easier because they didn't have to calculate every kilometer whether they were going to be on track or off track for their overall target. And I thought, this is a fantastic idea. It's exactly what I need. And so I wrote down on a piece of paper, for me to achieve 65 minutes for each kilometer, what time I needed to achieve for each kilometer. And I just thought, wow, now I've got a goal, and now I've got a strategy, and I've got key milestones and times against those milestones for each kilometer. I was ready. And well, did this system work for me? I can say absolutely yes. I couldn't believe it. I smashed my personal best time of 67 minutes, and I got under 65 minutes when my time gets adjusted. And so I couldn't be happier at the moment. But I have to tell you, there was moments throughout that race where I was slipping behind my kilometer time, and I had to catch up quickly because I didn't want to leave myself too much to do at the end. And you know what? Just before the end, with 1 kilometer to go, my legs are burning, I'm feeling the pain, I'm thinking 60 minutes has just passed, have I got enough petrol in the tank to get me over that finishing line and break 65? And you wouldn't believe what happened next. As I'm running past the 13-kilometer flag exactly, there was a trumpet player. And can you believe what he was about to play as I ran past? If you watched the video from last week, you'll know the significance of this moment. That's right, he started to play the theme tune from Rocky. I couldn't believe my ears. As I was focusing on the pain, it just disappeared. I decided I wasn't going to focus on the pain. I was only going to focus on the music and running as fast as I can to break that 65-minute barrier. I knew I could feel the laughter and the support of my 90-day challengers as we were singing the Rocky theme tune together. Well, that's what I pictured in my head anyway. And so that was just a magic moment for me, and I couldn't have written that script as I crossed the finish line any better. It was just perfect. Now, could I have done all of that, achieved that goal without the milestones that I set for the race for each kilometre? Well, I have to say an emphatic 18 years of no. I'd run that race so many times without a firm strategy, without having any clear milestones, with just hoping for the best at the end, running the race as best I could, and it didn't work for me. This was the first time that I knew that I was going to break my PB early on. In fact, after 3 kilometres, I knew that this system was working. At the halfway mark, I knew with great certainty that I was going to break my personal best. And when that rocky music came in with 1 kilometre to go, I knew that nothing was going to stop me from achieving my stretch goal of 65 minutes. So everything was in place. So what does this mean for you? Well, so far in the challenge, we've worked so hard to understand what's important to us, and at a big picture and detailed level, set our priorities and our goals. And also we've worked really hard to understand why these things are important to us. And once again, we've looked at it from a big picture point of view and a detailed level to have our values and our reasons why clear. And of course, last week we started working on how we're going to make all of this happen in 90 days. And now we've reached a point where are we going to hope that motivation carries us over the line and gets us to achieve our goals? Motivation can be temporary, and so this week is all about certainty over motivation. How do we get a level of certainty like I had in the City to Surf, to know at the 3 kilometre mark with 11 kilometres still to go that I was certain I was on track and I was going to achieve my goal? That's the level of certainty we want. So this week, your challenge is all around setting key milestones for every week from now on in until the end of the challenge to give you that level of certainty. Now, when we talk about milestones, I've outlined a number of examples for you to look at in your notes. But what it can be is really anything that's going to help you know that you're on track or not, to give you time to make changes if you need them. So for example, it can be more of the action side of things, so more around how, or it can be around specific smaller goals, mini goals let's call them, on your way to achieving your bigger goal. So you can have a combination of things that'll tell you what you need to know so you can make key decisions at your moments of truth. Do you keep on going with the strategy that you got in place? Or do you need to change something? And we'll talk about behavioural flexibility in a couple of weeks' time, but that's what I want you to get started on this week. So sit down for each of your priority areas and for each of your goals and set down week by week what your milestones are, what your moments of truth need to tell you so you can achieve those goals. So it won't be a mystery at the end of 90 days whether or not you're being successful or not. You're going to know well in advance and you're going to be in a great position. So I wish you an inspirational week and get stuck into your moments of truth, and then you get to live and breathe them week on from now. I look forward to speaking to you again, and next week we definitely are covering rewards. Look forward to it.